you will find that one of the most important sections that you need to look at and set up correctly is the availability section. So if you go onto your page, there is the home page there, and next to it is the availability section. But before we click on it, we need to check on certain settings first. This is very important. You go to your account settings, and then under the profile, you will notice that there is a date format section. You need to change. You need to actually change to the right date format that you use in your country. And you also have a time format. You can change from a 24-hour format to a 12-hour format. Another thing that is important is the time zone. Usually when you put your country here, it will automatically adjust to that time zone. So it's important here to check the time zone, because by default, the system will push the time zone here into your schedules. Now it will wreak havoc if you have the wrong time zones. You get bookings at the wrong times. So before you touch anything on your availability schedules, just make sure that your time zones are correct. Then after doing that, you can go to your availability section. The important thing here is to create a schedule that you can use time and again. Calendly allowed the users to create many schedules, which we can apply to different meetings. In this case, this is the default schedule, the working hours. We can create another new schedule. But before we do that, let's just take a look at the working hours. Right here below it, you'll find that there are 5 active events, and they are all using the working hours schedule. So this is the name of the schedule, working hours. So by clicking on all of these, second meeting, product showcase, sales inquiry, all of these meetings will be in this time zone and under this schedule. And these are the times in which the person is available from 9 a.m. to 1700 hours. As you can see, the person is not available on Sundays and Saturdays. So there are also 2 ways in which we can see this. We can see the list view here, and we can have the calendar view. So you can still set up using this view. It's very possible. It's just easier to use the list view. You will find there's a gear icon here. You can edit the name of the schedule, or you can clone it so that you can use it again. There's also the date override function. What happens is that if at some point in time your schedule deviates from the normal schedule, you can make use of the date override. So let's make use of an example so that you understand how you can set up your availability. So you click new schedule. So let's just say this is the Yogis. Remember, this is the name of the company that I'm using. Yogis schedule, time schedule. Right. So Elizabeth's schedule is different. The other user's schedule is different. I have different users. So all you have to do here is to click create. The first thing we have to do is to find which event this schedule will work on. We've been playing around with the sales inquiry meeting event. Let's just make sure that it affects sales inquiry event only. So that I mentioned this before we go forward, remember that the availability that we are working with right now only applies to the person's account. So if you have 2 users, you have to get into the second user's account so that you can set up the availability schedule. However, there is a possibility of us manipulating the schedule within the master account. Now I'm using the master account or the owner's account. So right now, let's just be aware that if you want to change the availability section of a user, you need to go into that user's account to change that information. Right now, I'd forgotten to click save, so we click save there. So it's only applying to one event. This is my time zone. So this person, let's say this person wakes up until 4 o'clock now and starts at 8 o'clock in the morning. So we would want to say the person works from Monday to Friday. We can easily copy these times from this Monday section and copy this time. You see all of them have changed. So you have your perfect schedule. There's no problem even if you change your schedule here to say I'm going to finish my work at 1700. So the question comes now, what if I have lunch? Is the main question that people give, and I have tea breaks. You can put intervals. Use this plus sign. So you click the plus sign. So let's say you have your lunch starting at 1 o'clock, so that 1300 hours, and it ends at 1400 hours, so we can just put 1400 hours. So you see the system has created a gap, a 1 hour gap where people cannot book with you. So this time between 1300 and 1400 hours is actually unavailable. You can even do that and add a tea break. Let's say a tea break at 10 o'clock and it ends at 10:15. So we can actually put 10:15 here. 10:15. All right, there's something that is gone wrong here. This time is supposed to be 1300 hours. There we go. And this time is supposed to be 1400 hours. I'm not sure what happened there. And then we put the last time to 1600. There we go. So this person has got a break of 15 minutes and is also a lunch time of 1 hour. We can easily copy this to the other days. And you remember that on Wednesday we were finishing at 1700 hours. So you have created your schedule and it's done. You can even copy this to another schedule by using that clone section. So we need to save maybe this as a default so that when we create other meetings, the default time schedule would be the Yogi time schedule. It's no longer the working hours time schedule. Now, the next thing comes where you say on a certain date, I'm not available, or on a certain date, I might be coming later. So what you do is you use the add date override function. You simply click here. Let's say on Monday, the 1st, you are not available. In fact, you are not available on Monday. All you have to do is to delete everything and click apply. On 1 November, you'll be unavailable. No one will be able to book with you. Let's say on November 2, right, you are only available after your lunch break. All you need to do is to delete that and you click apply. So you see, on 2 November, you only start work at 10:15 and end at 1600 hours. You can even modify the times. For example, to say on Wednesday, I don't want to have a break. So all you have to do is to say you delete that and you start at probably 8 o'clock and you apply. So date override function helps you to modify your work schedule without changing the original work schedule. So when this day passes, we will revert to the regular schedule. Remember, this is only affecting one meeting or one event. If you want this to apply to the rest, you can just click and then save. This is how we set up our availability schedule.